Hi everybody, my name is Raea Gragg. I am an author, illustrator, and animator, and I'm super excited because I just came out with a passion project of a lifetime. It is my graphic novel called Mup, and it's a story about a little girl who gets stuck in the future with her teenage self, and the two of them just do not get along, but they have to in order to save the world. So I just did a video about the story behind the story and basically talking about what was the idea that helped me come up and create the story. But while I was doing that video, I realized that there is something that I wanted to share with you all that I think is kind of important, and it's a little bit embarrassing, but I'm actually a reluctant reader. I don't like reading. I never have. And this is because growing up, I struggled with some learning disabilities. One of them is called convergence insufficiency, and it is a visual sort of seeing disorder where I actually saw double, which is funny because convergence insufficiency sounds so funky, but it's really just I saw two things. So like there'd be one hand, but for me I would see two hands layered on top of each other. And that was for everything that I saw, up until about age 10. And so I was thinking about, how do I really describe it to you all, like what it was like, and I figured I would just show you, because that's kind of my jam as an artist. But, so I did this sketch a couple minutes ago, and it's a self-portrait of me, and it is me how I would have saw myself through the lens of convergence insufficiency, and this is what I looked like, believe it or not. This is me through the lens of convergence insufficiency, or aka seeing double. Yeah, it was an interesting time, guys, I'm telling you. But what was probably the most difficult thing was just reading in general. Because sentences and words and paragraphs were just, not behaving, and they were floating around, and, combining and disappearing, and, literal books were, disappearing in front of my face. So that was really challenging for me to overcome that. And I also have dyslexia, so that just didn't really kind of added to the fun of my elementary school, middle school experience of learning how to read and becoming a reader. And I could not have done it. I could not have gone from the place of being someone who couldn't read to someone who can if it wasn't for an awesome discovery I made in my elementary school library when I was in the 5th grade. And I discovered the graphic novel / comic book section, and I walked in there and I was like, oh my gosh, these are picture books, but for older kids, and I can read them because I can look at the pictures and I can understand what the words are saying. And I was like, this is awesome. So I got every book I could find, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Bones by, Bones, Marvel books, DC, Mouse Guard, you name it, I was reading it. And that, honestly, is how I became a reader. If it wasn't for graphic novels and comic books, I wouldn't have become a good reader. I could almost guarantee it, because I listened to audiobooks instead. So that was a game-changing moment for me, and it was the reason why I created my own graphic novel in college, because I realized the power that it had to tell a story with pictures and words, especially geared towards people who were like me growing up, who just detested reading, and still is not a very big reading fan to this day. But so that's something I really want to share with you, and I really understand, what it's like being in those shoes of someone who's struggling with words or struggling with reading. I was there, so I understand if you're in that place right now, how hard and how challenging that can be, and if you're someone who also has, reading comprehension problems or dyslexia, or even, God bless you, even if you have convergence insufficiency, I was there. So, and if I've learned anything growing up throughout my whole education, going through all of those classes and all those years of school, with those two things holding me back, I realized as I got older that my disabilities weren't the things that hold me back. They were actually the things that propelled me forward because I let them be a part of who I was. And I wouldn't be an artist or a writer today if I hadn't grown up hating both of those things. So, you know, it's amazing where you can go if you allow those parts of yourself to really like push you forward instead of hold you back. So that's my only advice to you guys if you're in that place now. I understand it's hard. So I hope you guys are having a good time. It's staying safe. The world's a little crazy right now with COVID-19, but hope you read some great stories, and I hope you create some great stories of your own. So thanks for listening.